This video was a pain in the ass to make. I've never really dabbled into audio before, as you can see on my other videos where I primarily use subtitles to convey my words. So when I got a microphone to finally do some voice recording, it didn't work on my laptop at all. It just didn't work. The software just kept crashing and not responding, so I had to take my laptop to the repair store and
Hello, your computer
it got
has
a blue
virus.
screen of death and I had to get a whole new laptop just to make this video. Video making is pain, but I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for Singapore. I like aquarium fish. They are better than dogs and cats. They don't need cages like rabbits and hamsters. They don't need parenthood taxes like kids. So yeah, aquarium fish, they are basically the best pets you can have. They are very easy to care for and they are pretty cheap. I got into this hobby when I was young, when my dad had a fish tank where he stocked it with cichlids. He once told me that he had an arowana in his office where the nickname Dr. Fish was given to it. I remember wanting a pet fish, but knowing how much goes into fish keeping, my dad got me a pet terrapin instead, which I argue is harder to keep. Because terrapins grow up to be really big, they need like 90 gallons total, and I assume that most people don't have the money or space for a 90-gallon tank. Now, I used to have a pair of terrapins named Tom and Jerry, but that's a story for another time. Point is, I like fish. Eventually my dad actually got me some fish. They were mollies, and like all beginner fish keepers, I kept them in a small plastic tub with colourful pebbles. They all died in a week. Being a kid, I didn't know what went wrong. I mean, they were in water and I gave them leftover terrapin pellets. You would think that's all fishes need to survive on, but no, they all died on me and I fed their corpses to Jerry. And so years went by and the itch to keep fishes again struck. And so I decided to do it, but this time with the proper research. So the first aquarium I made was more of a small pond. It was a ceramic bowl with a water lily in it. During the first week it was set up, there were tons of mosquitoes breeding in the bowl of water, so my dad bought a betta fish to sort out the problem. Now I want to talk about bettas. I think they're overrated. Sure, they have nice colors and they can jump. They're like the golden retrievers of the aquarium fish world. However, the most noted aspect of them is their hardiness. They can survive in harsh conditions for a period of time. Now, I'm sure you know the myth. I am sure your uncle or dad has told you this. Betta fish live in small puddles in the wild. That is nonsense. Yes, it's true wild bettas do live in small puddles during the dry season. Bettas live in larger ponds and rivers for most of their lives. That's kinda saying that a human can live in a cubicle because they spend an hour in there every day. So you should be providing your betta fish with a 5-gallon aquarium at least, with live plants and a heater if you're not from the tropics. Remember how I said bettas are like golden retrievers? That's cause they do actually behave like little energetic dogs. It will swim up to you when you're about to feed them. Once they recognize this, they will happily swim up to the front of the tank to see you, even when you're not feeding them. Oh yeah, bettas are territorial fish. Both male and females are. It's not recommended to put them with other fish. They are called Siamese fighting fish for a reason. It's cause they beat up Chinese people like me. However, every betta has a different personality than the last, so you might get lucky and get a chill one. Alright, I'm done talking about bettas, now let's talk tetras. Tetras are just way too many choices for a fish. The Amazon River truly is the breeding ground for the most diverse species there is. Tetras, along with bettas and guppies, are probably what you think of when you hear the word aquarium fish. More specifically, the neon tetra. Those colors don't lie. they are a staple for a reason. If they didn't die so fast from inbreeding, I remember my dad purchasing like 20 neon tetras from a local fish store and half of them died. It's a sadly common problem with popular fishes. Poor breeding practices lead to newer generations becoming more prone to diseases. That's why I want to talk about other tetras that aren't horribly inbred, like cardinal tetras, bigger neons basically. Green neons, want a smaller fish, Raminos tetras. I'm surprised that no one has called them Rudolph tetras because of their great nose. I actually have a small school of them in my 30-gallon tank, and they are by far the best schooling fish I've ever seen. But my favourite tetras, and nanofish in general, would have to be the amber tetras. Just look at them. Amber tetras do live up to their name. A nice shade of orange that makes you think of those cheap gummy candies. In my opinion, amber tetras school decently, and they do well in smaller aquariums like 10-gallon aquariums. And they are pretty hardy, much more hardier than neon tetras at least. If you're one of those people that want to put goldfishes in a small bowls or aquariums, don't do that, just get amber tetras instead. Yeah, but don't put them in bowls. Put them in at least 10 gallons. On the topic of goldfishes, let's talk about them. If you think dogs have it rough when it comes to genetic modifications, just wait until you see the bizarre stuff people will do to goldfishes. From inflating them to the size of tennis balls to giving them massive eye bags, goldfishes really are the all tomorrows in real life. Like that thing used to be a carp. Keeping goldfish is no easy task. I know the stereotype of keeping goldfishes in bowls, and I'm baffled at how many people still do this to this day. Goldfishes get massive. They need at least a 40-gallon tank. Stop putting them in uncycled fish bowls. Okay? The other thing about goldfish is that they crap a lot. Too much work for me to remove all that. They're cute when they're small, but once they grow up, they're ugly. I do not care for goldfish. Hence, I will move on to Corydoras. Corydoras are like the lovable weird group of friends you stumble upon. They spend most of their time sifting through sand and being bumbling nuggets. That's all you have to be to win the hearts of millions. Corydoras come in different sizes and colours. Some are albino, some have patterns, some are small, but their general body shape is mostly the same. That's because evolution gave them the peak of biological designs for a catfish. Best part? Since they spend most of their lives at the bottom of the tank, they are compatible with tons of other fish species with no aggression. If betas are the golden retrievers of the fish world, then Corydoras are the capybaras. Only problem I have with Corydoras is that they can be a little bit difficult to feed. If you have greedy fishes, they'll snatch up the food before those catfishes can even get to them. If you have pygmy cories, then good luck. They practically have no mouths because they are tiny. I can go on about Corydoras and their individual species, but I want to talk about the next fish. Gouramis, 3 types to be exact: dwarf, honey, and sparkling. Dwarf gouramis don't really interest me all that much. They are comparable to a beta, pretty territorial with nice colours. The only thing they have going for them are their specialised fins that are used as feelers. Honey gouramis, I'm surprised this one isn't as popular as betas. They have all the benefits of a beta without the temperament. Of course, they only have one colour, but that just means choosing one will be easier. They only grow to 5 cm, so they can fit in a 10-gallon tank. Honey gouramis are a good centerpiece fish in a well-planted tank. They are active without disturbing other tank mates. They are a 10 out of 10 fish in my opinion. If you are a beginner, Pick a honey gourami. If honey gouramis are a 10 out of 10 fish, then sparkling gouramis are a 12. These little fishes have a lot of personalities for what's essentially a smaller betta. They do tend to hide a lot at first, but once you get used to seeing you, they'll come out more. I know the looks don't really match up with the name, that's only if you have one in a tank. If you have 2 or more males in a tank, they will do what's called sparring, where the male will flash their fins at each other to win the attraction of a female sparkling gourami. And when they do that, their fins will sort of light up with a neon blue colour. If you've kept these fishes and seen this behaviour, you know what I mean. That is what makes them one of the most unique fishes in the entire hobby. Not to mention they can make noise. When sparring, you might hear them make this clicking noise. I think it's cool. So yeah, sparkling gouramis, they have a lot more going on than meets the eye. Don't sleep on them. Medaka rice fish. I've never heard of them until Adam's Ragusia's video. They sound nice. The traditional way of keeping them is usually in pots and ceramic bowls with plants in them. You can also keep them in rice paddies if you have one. Because nature has shaped them to live in small streams of water, they're peak in design just like Corydoras.
I believe we're alike in that way.
I've never kept Medakas before, although I've loved to, because they are apparently easy to breed too as they scatter their eggs across plants. One thing I found interesting is that while looking into Medaka care, some people place emphasis on culturing green water. What is green water? It's microalgae. It's good for fish fry. I will probably never try culturing that stuff because someone in my family will throw it away cause it looks toxic. The final fish I want to talk about is the angelfish. They are probably the fish I wanted to own the most. They're just nothing like the other fish in the hobby. The patterns and the long fins they have are just so beautiful. Problem is they get big. They need at least a 40-gallon tank to house a good group of them. Angelfish are also cichlids, which means that there may be some aggression among them or any other fish they are capped with. Another cichlid characteristics that angelfish might have is that they are hunters. You may not think about them when you first look at them, but I've heard stories of people feeding small fishes to angelfish. That may be a bane or a boon for you. To me, I just wish there was some sort of dwarf angelfish that can fit in a 10-gallon. More on Amazon River, you know you have 1,000 more undiscovered aquarium fish to be traded. Give me a nano angelfish and maybe then I'll consider using those disgusting paper straws to help the earth. That's all I have for this video. There are many other aquarium fishes I haven't talked about, but that will be for another time. I haven't even gone into setting up a fish tank or even the plants that you can grow in aquariums. That is worth an entire video all on its own. Aquarium plants, don't skip them. If you're new to fish keeping and you've watched this video, it's probably not very helpful. I recommend checking out actual aquarium YouTubers like KG Tropical or Fish Theory. Just don't put them in a 1-gallon bowl and call it a day.